Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. Very interesting day to say the least. And try and show this the best. Okay, it's not really showing the right side. There you go. I mean, today was wild. This might have been one of the wildest. This is probably the wildest day I've seen in the market since I started trading. Just insanity from the S&P and all the indexes absolutely dumping like I warned about yesterday. You had that first of all. Aside from that, you had GameStop, you had AMC, you had EXPR, just going absolutely crazy with the Wall Street bets. Then you had Bitcoin falling 6%. And on the other side, if you were in the trades that I was in, if you were in the trades that I alerted, it was like an amazing day. There was a pull towards the end of the afternoon, which did take some gains, but like the first half of the day was just aggressive for Fisker, Clover, just a whole bunch of trades, CODX. It was just insane for the trades. But yeah, the market, it took a huge fall. I mean, big numbers were taken off on the indexes. Looking at futures real quick, they're kind of rallying right now, but they fell even further after the market closed, and now they're just coming back up to where the market did close at. They're still a little bit under where the S&P closed. But let's talk about the trades. I don't really know what else to say. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to have an ego. I know that for some people it might have been an absolutely terrible day in the market. I'm very aware of that. But for the trades, there's not much that I can not brag about. Okay. BigCommerce hit the target for 34% profit. Clover hit both targets, right, for 28% profit. It even hit the second target to the cent. I called the top on Clover to the cent for today's session high, and even 11 days ago I called the local bottom on Clover. One of the most perfect trades I've ever put out. Okay, Rocket 23% gains, my biggest trade ever because I was in options. That hit the target. Goose after like 3 weeks hit the target today for 21% profit. SDC hit the target I think on Monday for a day trade of 17% profit. CODX is up 17%. Fisker did fall a little bit after hours, so I think it's only up like 6 or something percent right now, but earlier in the day it was up like 13 or 14%, and I even called when Fisker was at a major resistance. I put it out on Twitter and in the Discord, so I was pinpoint accurate there as well. XP had a nice day up 9%, and then the rest pretty flat. The only two that did not have a good day were HYLN and then QS. They were actually doing very well in the first half of the day. They were both in the positive, where every single trade here that's ongoing was green. But then in the second half of the day, when the market fell again, HYLN and QS did fall quite a bit, down 4 or 5%. But if you were in the trades, I put out a poll in the Discord today asking if everybody was in profit during this week's trades that I put out. Every single person who answered the poll said yes. 46 people were in the poll. They answered it. Every single one of them said yes. Now, of course, there's 1,000 people in Discord, so there could be people who never saw it that are down. But for 46 out of 46 people who did enter the poll, they all were in profit. I mean, how can you not be with this unless you're only in HYLN and QS? That's the only way you can't be. It's just insane. And then even aside from the crazy stuff right here, if you were in the stream last night, I guess we can go to the charts right now, okay? All right, if you were in the stream last night, if you follow me on Twitter, if you were in the Discord, what did I say yesterday afternoon? What did I say? Okay, the market looks bearish. I said those exact words. The technicals looked bearish. Bearish is the word I used, and that's exactly what happened. I had no clue that it would fall as fast as it did today, and obviously there were other reasons. I think there was some sort of talk about inflation. There was something else. What was it? I mean, just obviously the whole entire short squeeze scenario. And earnings as well were today for some big tech. But even yesterday, before all these things happened, yesterday I was able to put out the warning because the S&P had daily classic bearish divergence that I showed, 4-hour bearish divergence. The UVXY, okay, let's look at it. What did I say yesterday? The UVXY is at the same level it was prior to the COVID crash. And what happened today? It went insane, which is why the market was down. Obviously, they kind of work inversely. Same thing with the VIX, went absolutely insane. And the dollar went up a little bit. So this is nothing new. You should have not been surprised. If you listened to my warning yesterday, what happened today was not a surprise at all. I was able to prepare for it. I had an okay day. I mean, it was a green day, which I guess having a green day on the worst day in the market and literally since October, I think is an accomplishment, first of all. But regardless of that, like even in the morning, I was up. So in the morning, my portfolio was up like 10% on the day without options, just all common shares. I was up 10%. But then throughout the day, it went back down and I closed out the day up like 3%. So it wasn't like a huge crazy day for me, but if I was playing options, it probably would have been crazy. I was just trying to be more safe because of how weird the market was. And even though the market pulled absolutely crazy, absolute dump, the trades did well. And I didn't really expect the trades to do as well as they did. They just did. Clover did amazing. Fisker did amazing. Another trade I was in was CODX. That did very well. BurgerFi held up. HYLN did get pulled. Just we're gonna go over all the charts. We're gonna talk about it, but what a day. I mean, we need to start off with Clover. Okay, perfection. This was a perfectly called trade. I don't know what else to say. All right, let me show you all the history of Clover and how I've been calling it. Okay, just even before we talk about my thoughts on the future with Clover, let me just talk about how I called this beautiful trade. Literally pinpoint accuracy. That cannot be argued. I can show proof of it. I'm not trying to sound like super egotistical. It's just the truth, okay? It's just really the truth. If you can find somebody else who called out Clover as accurate as I did with proof, let me know, okay? That's not an ego. It's just I literally did it to the cent. So there's not much room for anybody else to have error. And obviously there was some sort of luck in it, and it wasn't super complicated. It was just using supports and resistances, but it happened, okay? Clover had this nice run up pre-merger. Then it fell after the merger down to 1317. At 1317, I was pretty much, what was it? I was like 7 cents off. Okay, so the actual low was 1310. I put out a buy call at $13.17. And when I put that out, I showed the 1420 resistance, which it stayed at for multiple days, pretty much, you know, the beginning of this week. Stayed at that for multiple days, end of last week. And then it broke this resistance and it went right to my target. Look, went right to my target, not today, but yesterday. It hit the target literally perfectly and then pulled back. Then today, then after it hit that first target, I said, let me make a second target just because I think this has more room to go. So yesterday I put out a tweet saying, for those who want it, I'm gonna make a second target for you. I put that out yesterday. What happened today? Literally to the cent, okay? I'm showing you this white dashed line. Literally from the high of today, that was my target. I did not change this level. You can go see the tweet for proof. It went to that to the cent, and then it pulled back all the way down to 1425. And at 1425, I said, look for a bounce here because it's flipping the previous resistance into a support, and then you got a major bounce after hours, like 1565, and then it did fade off a little bit, but hopefully 1 out of those 5 calls helped you make money. If you would have just bought here and sold at the top, you would have made a 28% profit. So that is Clover. I think that might be my most perfect call ever because it was just so close to the cent, and there was like 5 different calls I made within the one call. So I'm just super happy about Clover. Other thing I'm super happy about, but a little bit about, is Fisker, where I think after hours it might have closed at like 1620 or something like that. It did fall after hours, but Fisker broke out. What have I been saying for weeks? Fisker is bullish. Fisker is bullish. The technicals are bullish. I put out a whole entire fundamental video on it. I did 3 different streams where I showed this Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Well, I've been showing this every day for like, what, since last week? Hidden bullish divergence confirmed today, what we've been waiting for. I've been showing this. And you broke out of the downsloping supply line. And where did you go on Fisker? You went right up to the $17.67 target that I put. Okay, this 1767 level was literally there when I put out the official trade. When I put out this trade, when Fisker was down at $15, this 1767 level was on my chart. And then today, just like I've been saying, Fisker was bullish. At one point, the trade was up 13%. Fisker was up like 15%. And it went right to there. It was, so the line was 1767 and the high today was 1770. It literally went right to that line and then it faded. And yeah, there you go. Okay, Fisker and Clover, insane calls. Hopefully, I'm not sounding like I have a huge ego right now. It's just like, I don't know many other people who call those 2 stocks that perfectly. And if anybody, you know, wants to contest that, I'm completely open to it. I'm not like saying I'm the only person who called these. I'm just saying I feel like I did it very, very accurately using the levels, because they literally did exactly what I was looking for. And let's talk about the future on Fisker and Clover now, okay? Let's just finish up Fisker and we'll go back to Clover. It closed after hours at 16.16. Thank you, Stephen M. So yeah, technically it's still for sure broken out of the downsloping supply line. What you want to do tomorrow is get another 4-hour candle close above $16.50. You did close the daily candle above it, but then you fell down after hours. The whole entire market was dropping. Like literally the second the market closed, after hours things were just dropping, even though they were dropping throughout the day. And yeah, you just want to get back above 16.50. It's only like 35 cents away or something like that. You want to break back above that. Your daily hidden bullish divergence is confirmed. If you took the short-term trade to 17.67, for sure that 100% made sense. I put out the warning when it was hitting that resistance, but I still think this looks great long-term. Remember, I have a much higher price target, not financial advice ever. And yeah, you just confirmed the hidden bullish divergence. You just broke out of this trend. I still think it has a lot more room to run if the market can hold. Just sucks of, you know, the timing here, right? When the market is having its worst week in months is when Fisker decides to break out. Super ironic. Yeah, that's Fisker. In terms of like the future, you just want to get back above 16.50, and you do not want to fall under 15.65. You want to stay above 15.65, which would be this downsloping supply line. And then in terms of the future on Clover, I thought they were supposed to have some sort of, you know, press conference or whatever today, but apparently not much news came out of that, unless anybody has any details. Clover, the hidden bullish divergence is still developing. It was showing some good volume after hours. Let me change this song. In terms of the future on Clover, in my thoughts, as long as it's above $14, it's bullish. If you can stay above $14, you can see a lot of back and forth action between $14 and $16. That's just a very volatile range, right? From right over here, and then again from today and yesterday. So between 14 and 16 is just kind of like not neutral, but I honestly say like bullish. If you fall under 14, that's when you get really concerned. And if you ever break over 16, you're probably just going to go back up towards 17 again, right? That's exactly what happened today. So just know your levels. All levels are on this chart. If you fall under a level, that's not good, but if you break over a level, that is good. Other than that, you have to take level by level. At this point, after the 5 different pivots I called, all you can do now is take it level by level, because it already has used like most of these levels as both support and resistance. So yeah, it had a very nice move after hours, which I also called. Literally when it was at 14.20, I said look for a bounce here. It went to 15.65. Then it closed, I think, right at $15 after hours. So yeah, those are your levels. Just if you want to take a screenshot, go for it. I already made these 2 price targets. If you're super fundamentally bullish on the company and you want another one, you could just use the golden ratio. Truly, that's like $20. Also a psychological resistance, but you have to break this previous all-time high to even be considering that, and then you still have the 1272 level. And then in terms of your supports, $14.20 is the support, $14 is the support. If you fall under $14, then it's like $13.20. So those are your levels on Clover. That's Clover and Fisker. Let's talk about the indexes today, okay? Hit that like button. We got 50 people in here. The market had an absolutely horrible day, but the trades absolutely crushed it. So I'm super hyped about that. Hopefully you took your profits and you were not too greedy, because these are very nice profits, ranging between 2% profit and 34% profit. We had about, we had about 9 tickers that were pretty much double-digit profits or higher. So, I mean, awesome. Just, you know, the market had the worst day in months, but the trades had the best day in a long time. Just absolutely crushing it. I'm just super hyped about that. In terms of like the actual market itself, on the S&P 500 on the daily, somehow you held the channel, okay? It went from the top of the channel. Remember, I literally put out the warning on the market right here. I feel like nobody was listening to me when I put out that warning. And then literally today, the warning played out. You had a massive dump. It was super overbought here on the MACD. And you were at the top of the channel at a horizontal resistance. Everything was bearish on the chart. Even intraday, it was bearish. I literally said in the Discord, the technicals still look, I think the word I used was disgusting. And then at the end of the day, you dumped again. And now finally after hours, you're rallying a little bit only to get back to where you closed the day at. So you're at the demand line of the channel, you're looking for a bounce here. I even put out a tweet saying you're looking for this bounce, and you did get a bounce there. So you just want to stay above 37.27 on the SPY. Let's go. Sandeep bought the FTM hoodie. Thanks for the best day of trading today. I'm sure I'm at the right place to learn and earn. Absolutely. Thank you for getting the FTM hoodie. I hope you enjoy it. That's the awesome thing about the merch. Not only are you supporting me with all the free trades and everything and the whole entire education, you also get a dope hoodie from it. So thank you very much for all the support. You also sent a tip last night, I think the night before or something. Really appreciate all the support very, very much. Thank you for getting the hoodie. Hope you enjoy it. Let me fix the music. We have a lot to talk about tonight, just a lot. I want to talk about the market, GameStop, AMC. So it looks like it's good now. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. What else? So yeah, you're looking to hold this level on the S&P. If you do, you could see a little, bounce tomorrow. Just look at the futures overnight. At this point, it can go either way. You could have people trying to buy the dip after a huge fall. And then on the flip side, you could see this bearish divergence continuing to play out. Yesterday, the edge on the market was like 80% bearish, and I literally alerted that. At this point, it's more like 50% because you already had a very big fall. So it is more of a 50-50 at this point. Still manage your risk as always, but hope that warning helped. Because yeah, the UVXY and the VIX also already shot up. Typically, except for the COVID crash, they don't stay up for long. It could be a whole entire week. I have no clue how long this could last. But don't be surprised if you just see people trying to buy the dip. Remember, even though you had a terrible fall today, you're talking about the greatest bull run in the history of the stock market, percent-wise. So, what Mitch Ray typically says is bearish conditions tend to underperform. No, bearish patterns tend to underperform in bullish conditions, right? Or super bullish conditions like the stock market right now, except for today. And yeah, that's just like my thoughts on it. Futures are rallying right now, but it's not as good as it looks because they dumped all the way down here, and now they're just rallying to get back to where the day closed at 4 p.m. EST. So this is where the market closed at. They came all the way down here, and now they're just moving all the way back up to pretty much where it closed at. But yeah, we have 44 people in here. Unfortunately, it seems like all of these trades in a terrible day in the market that I literally warned about is not enough to get more than 30 likes. That's just how it is sometimes. But if you do feel that this free money on a terrible day in the market I warned about is worth a like, not even anything except a like, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All I ask helps to grow the stream. Insane day. That's the market. I feel like we could talk about some other trades in a little bit. I want to talk about AMC, GameStop, stuff like that. Not that I can give you any technicals because there's no technicals to be done, but I can just talk about my thoughts on them. Bitcoin, just before we get into that, still is in this weird range. It did have a bad day today. I have no clue. Bitcoin and the stock market right now are really a 50-50. There's not a major edge. Yesterday, there was a major edge for the bears. So yesterday was the major edge for the bears, but that already played out today. So we'll see if we see a continued fall in the markets or if we see a little demand bounce. But yeah, Bitcoin, it's really just hanging between 30 and 35K, as Mitch Ray calls it, a no trade zone for a swing trader because there's no edge. It can go either way. You can flip a coin and you could be wrong or incorrect, 50-50. Maybe you have some hidden bullish divergence, but it's not developing super well. Do want to wait till that's really getting close towards confirming. Yeah, that's Bitcoin. At what point do you take the trade off your list? So we can look at that real quick. So basically each week I put out new trades. I carry some over that are ongoing from the previous week, and I remove some from the last week if it's too old, it already hit the target, or it got stopped out. So for example, let's go to last week's trades, right? You see Moderna and OPTT are neon green. That means they hit the targets of the trades that I put out. So Moderna and OPTT did not get carried over because they already hit their targets. Same thing with Laser. That one got stopped out, so it did not carry over because that trade's finished. But all of these lighter colored ones, get carried over because they're still ongoing trades. So then I carry them over to here, and a lot of them hit their targets this week, right? Big Commerce hit the target, 34%, 28% on Clover, 23% on Rocket, 21% on Goose, 17% on SEC. It seems crazy saying these percent numbers on the worst week in the market in months, but it's true, it's real. I put out these trades. I don't know how, I just did it. And then CODX, I think, is pretty close to the target. That one's up 17%. So yeah, for next week, I'm not going to be putting any of these trades in the next week's trades because they hit their targets. If some of these hit their targets, they will also become neon green, but if they don't hit the targets, just copy it, paste it, bring it over to the next week until they either hit their target or get stopped out. I mean, do that. Like BFI will not be on next week's because it got stop hunted. So yeah, the lighter colored ones means they're ongoing, and that's the ones I'll be carrying over until then. Because remember, they're swing trades, so they can last more than 1 week. They're not really, for the most part, day trades. I know SDC was a day trade, but that just went much quicker than I anticipated. I had no clue it would do 17% in 3 hours. But yeah, let's get back to the charts. Let's talk about AMC and GameStop now. So, craziness, all right? We have 50 people in here, only 28 likes. It's not too great, but hopefully we can get a few more likes going on tonight. 1640 subs, thank you for all the support. If you want to send me a tip, if you want to buy some merch, just if you want to. Again, I do every single thing here for free, but if you want to, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. But I feel like we should have a nice, maybe 10-minute talk. You guys can give me some of your thoughts in the chat, but keep it responsible, okay? We could have a little talk about all the craziness going on with the short squeezes. Let's talk about it. I can't do any technicals because there's no technicals to be done at this point. Technicals were already done. When GameStop was $11, I was doing technicals on it. When AMC was $2, I was doing technicals on it, or $2.50. Stephen M bought the FTM mousepad. That is perfect, okay? Okay, that is perfect. I'm using it right here. Thank you for getting the mousepad. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for all the support, Stephen. Truly. Yeah, the mousepad's great. It's not like super big, but it's perfect to move your mouse on, and the quality is great. It looks great. Nice quality. Thank you for trying it. Travis says you try to tip with the credit card, says please use PayPal, not working. Yeah, a little bit not too sure about that. PayPal does work better. The credit card is just like some nights it works, some nights it doesn't, but yeah, PayPal usually works every single night. But thank you for trying to tip. So yeah, Steven said Kodak after hours. Yeah. Kodak was insane. I traded Kodak. So I did 2 trades on Kodak, right? But how do I say it? The first trade I did on Kodak, I think was like 30% profit or something like that. I realized the profits. So basically I got it here at like $9.50 or something, and I sold it at $13 in the morning. So I got it here at $9.50 yesterday. Then this morning I sold it at $13. Then it fell all the way back down to like $10.71. I re-entered at $11, and right now I'm holding Kodak at a re-entry of $11. But remember, I already took like 30% on my first trip in Kodak, so now I'm on my second trip. Not even because of the whole entire crazy stuff going on with the short squeezes, literally because of the bullish pattern that Mitch Ray showed on his stream. That was why I got into Kodak before all of the craze this week. It was literally $9 for 2 days, and I was just chilling there, and now it's going crazy. It even went to like $15 after hours or something like that. I think like 14 something. It's wild for sure. It just really has an issue breaking and holding above 14.11. I think it tested that twice today, and Kodak could not break above 14.11. So that's like a major resistance. And then it seems like your support is around like $11. That's pretty much where I re-entered. But again, this is not an official trade. It's not my trade. Just an idea I liked from Mitch Ray that's already made me a lot of money. So I'm just kind of playing with the house's money at this point on Kodak. But yeah, thank you for the 34 likes. I don't want to disclose any of the Patreon targets or anything like that, so I'm not going to. Woo! Matt on the moon, let's go with the $50 donation. Oh my gosh, Matt on the moon, thank you so much for all the support. Been very active lately. Matt says, good vibes, $50 tip for a $50 profit PT on AMC. I don't know if you're saying profit taking or price target. Let's go. Best day ever today. 113% up in one account, and smooth, very smooth. 25% gain in the other, despite the 10% drop in Clover long shares. Champ is the man. No tickers needed. Just good vibes. Thank you very much, Matt, on the moon, for the $50 donation, and congratulations to you for your best day ever. Monday was my best day ever because of my rocket calls, but congratulations to you. I mean, I know that feeling. I just had that feeling 2 days ago. It's an amazing feeling, but you know, how do I put it? I've had that day obviously a bunch of times where it's my best day ever, and then I always try to one-up myself. The number one thing that I've learned from having your best day ever in the market is just take the next few days simple, okay? You just had a crazy day. I remember the first time I had a huge day in the market, like, you know, 6-7 months ago when I had my first huge day. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much more money now. I'm just gonna throw it into a bunch of different things that are high risk, high reward. And that was when I was a newer trader. I'm like, whatever. So now I have so much more. I could just, you know, double up and go for it again. Typically, that might work, but the best advice I can give you is when you have that huge day, enjoy the gains and keep the gains. Don't give them back. So congratulations to you. Just, you know, compound those profits over time. And yeah, congratulations. Thank you so much for the $50 tip. Let's go. Congratulations to you on your best day ever. Just awesome stuff. Thank you for all the support, Matt, for real. Yeah, let's get some vibes in the chat. $50 donation from Matt. Everybody, we have 60 people in here. Let's get some vibes in the chat, okay? We're about to talk about GameStop and AMC, my thoughts on them. Do I have a Patreon group? I do not. I do everything for free. Could it happen one day? Definitely, but not for the short term, at least. Let's get some vibes in the chat. You bought your first call options today down a bit. Would love to get into that more. I don't really talk about options too much on the channel, but you could always ask around the Discord. We have a lot of people that can answer your questions in the Discord. Thank you for the vibes in the chat coming in from Max, Ryan, George, and Eric, and Boko. All right, let's talk about GameStop. Craziness. I mean, we know the whole entire story. We already talked about, I think, last night with Wall Street bets and the hedges, the massive shorts on you know, from the institutions. Today you had Chamath on CNBC also agreeing with the retail traders, and you have basically this scenario in which for years and years and years and years the institutions were having that majority control in the market over the stock prices, but now you're seeing the retail investors kind of gang up together and say, hey, it's our time to control the narrative here, and they're trying to, I guess, liquidate the institutional shorts out of their positions, and in doing so they're creating a massive short squeeze that is unlike any other, where GameStop literally went from, I think, like $17 a couple weeks ago to at one point today $380. So it's insane. I have no clue what's going to be next for GameStop. Personally, I'm not touching it. I'm just sitting from the sidelines. Congratulations to everybody who made money on it. And also on the flip side, people need to also be realizing just because something went up so much in price does not mean every single person who traded it made money, okay? There are some people who bought GameStop at $380 today because there needs to be supply and demand to get to that level. So that means people bought GameStop at $380 and they could have panic sold it under $300 when it fell crazy. So you also have to remember that this volatility does not mean everybody makes money, okay? It is still very, very risky. And you've seen very quick and fast drops. Literally today with both GameStop and AMC. AMC went from like $25 to like $11 or something. So it's very volatile. If you're trading this, that's your choice. Just please trade safely, have your stop losses, have good position size. Do not go all into something like this. In my opinion, that's not financial advice, but most people will tell you that have been trading for a long time, because maybe it works out once, maybe it works out twice. But if you do that time and time again, at one point you're going to blow your whole account. That's just how it works. It's all about, you know, probability, and eventually the probability is not going to be in your favor, and the coin is not going to flip on the side you want it to. So just be careful. But I have no clue. It could go to 500. It could go to 1,000. It could go to 20. I don't know, and I don't care, quite honestly, because it's just not what I do. For people who are doing this, absolutely, I get it, how crazy and how much of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity it is. but I mean, it's just like anything can happen. There's a lot of people who made money on it. There's a lot of people who lost money on it. There's going to be more people to make a lot of money on it. There's going to be more people to lose a lot of money on it. Whatever you're doing, have a plan and be safe. Or if you don't have a plan, which is pretty hard to make a plan on something like this at this point, just either stay cash or go trade something with a little bit more probability, right? I don't know. It's always your decision. And I'm not scrutinizing anybody who's trading anything. Everybody gets to pick what they want to choose or pick what they want to trade. But yeah, it's my thoughts on GameStop. AMC on the other hand is a little bit different. Where GameStop is at multiples of all-time highs. At the same time, AMC has already been at higher prices. Even after the crazy run today, AMC has already been at higher prices, okay? Let me just chart all the levels right here on the chart. Okay. So I just charted all the support resistance levels because I can use past data to see support and resistance levels because there is higher past data. So there is like maybe something I can do with technicals, but I really don't know how much this is going to matter, right? It's just a straight line up, straight line down for a lot of these things. Supports and resistances don't really work the same way they do on the majority of stocks when you have something like this. Jared, thankful for you and this community. Well, Jared, I am thankful for you for the $50 donation. Oh my gosh, the support is insane. Jared, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Very just straight to the point, $50. Can we get some vibes in the chat for Jared with the $50 donation? Let's go. The support's been unreal between yesterday and today. I know the trades this week have been absolutely crushing it. I'm just as hyped as you are for the trades. I'm in the trades myself, and it just feels great to be making other people money, right? I mean, that's a cool thing. And it's not always going to be like that. I do not have a 100% win rate, but I try my best, and remember, it's never financial advice. But yeah, in the past 3 months, every single week has been a big winning week, but it's also been a very big bull market. And actually, again, Jerry, thank you so much for the $50. It just kind of is leading me into this like point that I want to talk about before I get to AMC completely. I think this week was a huge test for me, right? I think this week was a huge test for my credibility, for my reputation, for everything I've been doing for the last 3 months. Thank you for the vibes in the chat coming in from Mike's Joints, Matt on the Moon, Sherry, Mr. J Long, Scrooge, Max Carlson. Let's go. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Jared McCain. I don't know if this is the same Jared that just dropped $50. Let us know in the chat. But Jared and then Jared McCain, I'm assuming it's the same person, with the #1 most sold merchandise item in the store, the red hoodie. I think 12 or 13 people have ordered the red hoodie now. I got the gray hoodie for myself, but the red hoodie is just flying off the shelves. Thank you so much for that as well. We've sold 2 pieces of merch and gotten $100 tips. $100 in tips tonight. The support's crazy. Thank you all so much. Jared, thank you for the 50. And then Jared, thank you for the FTM hoodie. Enjoy it. I appreciate it so much. Let's go. I'm really happy about everything right now. Eric Cooper with the advocacy says, yeah, the hoodie is awesome vibes. Glad to hear that. We have some pictures of the merch already showing up in the Discord. They're starting to arrive, which is awesome. Somebody posted their mug today. I have the SPAC poster behind me. I have this mouse pad. I have the mug. It's awesome. What I was getting to before the awesome tip from Jared, thank you so much, is like this week is huge for my credibility because it's been very, very easy for these YouTubers, Twitter accounts, stock Twit accounts to just post random stocks and have them go up over the past year, because pretty much all that's happened since March is the market has gone up, right? Now it's not super easy to pick the exact levels in which the prices will bounce and fail to break over, which is what I do. I show you the supports and resistances so you can buy at lower prices and sell at higher prices than just momentum trading. But if we really zoom in, okay, I can't talk. Today was the worst day in 3 months. That's facts. You can look at the S&P 500. Percent-wise, it was the worst day in 3 months, okay? Right? First of all, I warned about this day. Second of all, let me show you something, okay? Let's talk about it real quick. All right, let's switch over to the other screen. Not an ad, come on. All right. This was the market today. This was the market today. You're looking at it. I know it doesn't feel like it if you're in the trades. It really doesn't. It really does not feel like this was the market today. It was the worst day in months. For big tech, for consumer cyclicals, for defensive, for energy, for real estate, for every single sector in the market, it was the worst day in months. Except for communication equipment. That was the only sector that looks like it did well. But yeah, literally blood in the streets in the market today. And let me show you my trades from this week. Boom. So literally, probably, I think arguably the best week ever. Okay, this was probably the best week ever. This week was insane. All right, the second best week ever was this week for my trades personally. However, in the market, it was the worst week since I started posting the trades. So I think this just goes to show that I'm not here posting the hype FOMO stocks that are easy to make money on very quickly. What I'm actually posting are things like BigCommerce, Clover, Rocket, Goose, every single thing on this list. I'm posting them at supports, at demand lines with bullish divergence, a lot of variables, and I always share these variables with you when I put out the trades. I show the charts and I explain to you why I like the stock, and that's what I'm doing, okay? And you're seeing that when you actually have a plan and you know what you're doing, you can have weeks like this, even when the market looks like this. And I just want people to realize what I'm really trying to do is not, go for the tickers that everybody are talking about that are super FOMO hype on Twitter, that so much volume is going into. I'm trying to show you how to make money in any market, no matter what the conditions are. And that's exactly what happened today, and yesterday, and the day before, and for the past 3 months. So hopefully I just want people to understand that this trading method that I honestly, for the most part, learned from Mitch Ray works all the time. However, yes, for sure, we saw in the second half of the day, things did pull back. A lot of these were up a lot more in the morning. I'm not even lying. They were up like much. Fisker was up like 15%. It's only up like 6% now. I actually need to change this. It fell after hours. Like, yes, they did fall, but still insane stuff on the worst day ever. Worst day ever since I started putting out trades. Let me rephrase that. So I just want people to realize that I'm not here to just make a quick follow from you and post easy stocks. No matter what the market's looking like, I'm gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be hiding on the bad days. I'm actually, most of the time, whenever there's a bad day, I talk more. If you've noticed that on Twitter, I actually tweet more when it's a bad day. So let's get back to the charts. I just wanted to cover that point real quickly. Not only for reputation, just to help you all understand what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. Just for more clearness. I don't know. Let's get back to the charts. Oh my gosh, Nerve, that was perfect timing. Nerve with the FTM hoodie. Can't wait to rock this and be able to tell people what the FTM is with passion. Thanks, Mr. Charts. Yeah, you called me out last night too. Thank you so much, Nerve. Appreciate it. Wow, the support is unreal. Oh my gosh. Nerve, thank you. Enjoy the hoodie. All the support you've been showing is insane. I mean, honestly, yesterday and today, the support's just been unreal. Ever since we started doing this, the support's been unreal. So thank you all so much. And Nerve, enjoy the hoodie. Appreciate it. Rooster says profits aren't profits until they are realized. Absolutely. And what Rooster said, I misread your question. Not too sure what you mean by that, Christian. How you doing, Jeff O'Connor? But yeah, so let's talk about, we were talking about AMC before all this. Let's get to over here. AMC went absolutely nuts today, okay? I'm just showing the resistance levels, but they probably don't mean much. This is not a normal chart. Remember, technical analysis works best in normal market conditions, on normal volume, normal market cap, fundamental value stocks, not on things that just went from $2 to $20 to $11 to $15, stuff like that. That's not really the technicals work. There's not much of a pattern or divergence you can create on a straight line up. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy today. The difference between AMC and GameStop is at multiples above its valuation, whereas AMC could be argued that it is either undervalued or heavily overvalued. It depends on who you're asking. It also depends on the timing. But it has been higher before. I mean, that was in 2016. The last time that it was this high was in 2018, okay? So I'm not saying to trade this. I'm just saying I understand it a little bit more than I understand GameStop, where this one, like, yeah, I guess they're reopening theaters. I'm not trying to defend it. I don't think that this move should have happened this quick, but it did. And the market doesn't care what I think, right? So it's absolutely insane. Congratulations to those who are on it. But again, just remember, this thing went from $2 to 20. And from, no, to like what, 25 somebody said pre-market or something. I have no clue what it actually went to. I don't know. And then it fell all the way down to like 11 after hours, and then it pulled back up. Yeah, I know. I don't know why this thing keeps on popping up right here. I could just refresh my page, I think. I just gotta do that. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, it probably is a day trader stream. I mean, AMC quadrupled Christian's account today. Congratulations. Awesome, awesome. Wow. It's just a very, very strange time in the market. I tweeted out, I said, I put like the market right now, and then I put a GIF of like the Wild West. It's just a crazy, I don't remember a time like this in the market since I started trading. I don't think anybody can remember a time like this in the market, because there's never been a time like this in the market when you're looking at GameStop and AMC and what's happening to the indexes apart from those stocks, right? Meg says it went from 5 to 25 from after hours to PM. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was insane. I think it closed around like $8 yesterday after hours. And then today it went to 25, then back down to 11. I don't know what it closed at after hours today. But yeah, oh yeah, and the whole entire thing with Wall Street Bets, apparently Discord banned them. They took off their Discord, and they said that it was, let me actually see if the overlay is going to be non-laggy. Let's see. Let's try it out. Alright, looks pretty good. So we can have that running. So they banned their Discord, and their reasoning was because of like foul language or something like that, inappropriate language. It wasn't, and they specifically stated, from what I believe from the sources I saw, that it did not have anything to do with GameStop. Well, the fact that they mentioned that was a little bit, come on, but it's not my place. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. And then the Wall Street Bets Reddit went to private. I don't know if Reddit did that. I don't know if the actual moderators did that, but their Reddit went to private. You had Chamath, Elon Musk, Dave Portnoy, all talking about, I mean, everybody was talking about GameStop. YouTubers, like, it was crazy. That's what happens when something goes from like under $10 to almost $400. But yeah, that's my talk on GameStop and AMC. I know a lot of people want to talk about it because it's like the centerpiece of the market right now. But I feel like we've covered most of the trades. What have we not covered? We already covered Fisker, Clover. HYLN, yeah, this one was down. I posted this yesterday. It actually started off up like 3 or 4%, if you see right here. But then when the market pulled back in the second half of the day, HYLN also did pull with it. I don't know what it went to after hours, so I'm not too sure. But when it closed, it was trying to hold this support. Basically, you do not want to fall much under 18, because that's the level you're trying to break out if you're trying to stay above 18. So definitely want to get back above 18 and hold above 18 on HYLN. CODX, let's go. I mean, it was much higher today. At one point today, this trade was up 22%. I posted this trade at 11:23, like I think last week, and at one point today it was up 22%. Right now it's up 17%. QS also did fall, but what is it? It was also up in the morning. It just fell in the second half of the day when the market was pulling for the second time. But in the morning, this thing was up 5%. The trade was up 5% in the morning. So from the high of the day to the low, it actually fell like 9% because it was up 5, then it finished down 4%. Vroom, pretty much up a couple percent, even though at one point it was up 7%. So that's what I'm saying. I showed you the sheet, and the sheet looks so impressive still. But remember, in the morning, that sheet was even better. The numbers were crazy. Like every single thing was up over 10%. And these things are still in profit, but they were up a lot more in the morning. That's why it's all about market timing and stuff like that. Big Commerce hit the target. I mean, it crushed it after it hit the target. I put out this trade like 2 weeks ago. Went up 34% to hit my target. I think it hit the target yesterday, not today. Rocket hit the target today for 20. This is why you take profits. It hit the target and then it fell back down. Why was my target there? It was a resistance. It went a little bit higher. It hit the target perfectly for 23% profit, fell back down. Is there anything else I really need to be talking about? XP. That one also was up like 10%, even though it was up 12% earlier. So you get the ongoing point. Goose hit the target finally. This one was like a few weeks long. It had that initial move up to pretty much like at the target, then it pulled back tested 3164 support, and then it went to hit the target today. And that one was a 21% gain. Moderna hit the target and crushed it. If you would have never sold Moderna after my buy call, you'd be up like 37%. So yeah, that's like another recap of the trades. I feel like we've gotten all of it. Is BurgerFi still in play? I'm holding BurgerFi on my retirement account, so it's always in play for me personally. I still like it. It actually was up today. So anything that was up today, I mean, great job, right? When the market has the worst day in months. I still like it. You're still developing hidden bullish divergence on the daily. And you bounce off the 200-day moving average. You're still trying to break out of this downtrend. You're at the golden retrace. Technicals still look fine to me for the long term. I'm not too 100% sure about the short term, but they still look good to me for the long term. There was actually an original trade on this that did get stopped out. It got stop hunted, I think, on Monday or something? Yeah, on Monday it got stop hunted. But I just kind of reassessed the reward to risk, and I posted this in Discord for the people there today. And yeah, it's just kind of how I'm looking at it right now, but it's not an official trade anymore. But yeah, I feel like we've covered all of the trades. Insane day for the trades. I'm so happy that they performed how they did. But yeah, hopefully you were in the trades and you got to enjoy some of the gains, or you were in your own trades and you made some gains. If you were down today, and I don't only want to be talking about the good part. If you were down today, that obviously makes sense. It was one of the worst days in months, or the household names and stuff like that. There's always going to be other days. I'm not too sure if tomorrow's going to be better, but one day you are going to have a better day. Don't, just your main goal every single day should just be to not give up, and just remember there's unlimited tries, right? Manage your risks so that on the bad days you're not losing a lot. So on all those bad days you want to be not losing a lot of money, so then on the good days you can make a lot. That should be your whole entire plan. Manage your risk, have stop losses, use proper position sizing, and good days will come again. I can't tell you when. I have no clue when, but just keep your head up. I've had bad days before. The market is very cyclical. There's going to be better times, worse times. They always say, timing the market beats timing the market, because all the market has done over the last century is go up. But while going up, there were many crashes and dips and stuff like that. Sometimes every time it just takes patience. So just manage your risks during the bad times and you'll be fine. But yeah, I guess we can get into chat requests now. I think that was the longest intro we've done to the stream. I'm still good to go. We've already been live for 50 minutes and we haven't even done ticket requests yet. There's just been so much to talk about. It was an insane day. I had to talk for 50 minutes, okay? Hopefully you enjoyed it. We need 6 more likes to hit 50 likes. Thank you for all the support. If you're not subscribed, we just hit 1,650 subscribers. So we're halfway to 1,700 in terms of the 100 mark. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get a 50 likes. If you want to send a tip or buy some merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat. But yeah, Jeff O'Connor says, about 6 minutes behind, but you're the most transparent technical trader that people can actually learn from. Your notoriety and popularity will grow soon. I mean, I hope so, but I'm already very extremely grateful for this community. We have 58 people in here right now. The first few days I was streaming, we had 3 or 4 people. We have 60 people in here now. The first few weeks I was streaming for under 10 people. And really nobody was talking in the chat. I was just kind of talking to myself. So, I mean, it's super awesome to have everybody in the chat tonight. I appreciate all of you for coming out every single night. I mean, we've already had over 200 people, individual people, come out to the stream tonight, and we have 60 people in the stream currently, so really appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I try my best, Jeff. Those are very kind words. Thank you very much. But yeah, let's get to some ticket requests. Let's look at BFT. 2 people want to look at that, and then NAKD. I think NAKD did something crazy today. A lot of people are talking about that. I did not look at the chart. Yeah, let's get to some work right now. We need 1 more like to hit 50 likes. Hit that like button. EFT, I'm sorry, like I truly am, but this is really not where I can do anything for you. I just need more data on the chart to really analyze it to the best of my abilities, and there's just not a lot of data on this chart, if I'm being honest. So if you really want me to do something, those are your two levels. 1541 is your resistance, and your next major support is 1369, but on such a new spec, I really don't know how much the technicals would matter. What was the other one? NAKD. This one went from 35 cents to 151. Was this like another one that got heavily shorted that people wanted to get in? Again, this is not really, I mean, awesome for those who traded it and made money. It's just I can't really, there's no pattern on one candle. There's no divergence. I can't really do fibs right here. There's not much I can do at this point. Really, I mean, look at this. Go figure why it topped out at 148 during the market. I don't know what it went to after hours, but look, that was your resistance right here and right here, okay? So you could have used that as a resistance and taken profits, but I don't know, maybe it went up more after hours. I don't know. Again, there's just not much I can do right here. And again, everybody requesting, you know, stuff like this and stuff like this. If I could do something, I would. I'm not here to, you know, do nothing, but there's just, I can't make a pattern from this. I don't know anything about the company, so unfortunately there's not much I can do. The best takers to request are the ones that have a lot of data, that are not up, you know, 45%, 100% in one day. Things that are in ranges so I can try and see the moves before they happened. Stuff like that. Just being straightforward. So 1, 2, 3:30 after hours. Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. That probably had nothing to do with technicals. It's just, you know, there's really not much to do here. Just straight lines up, straight lines down. This is not really a chart that technicals matter on. Just very up, down, up, down, up, down. Unless you're looking at like a, you know, like a 5-minute chart or something. Let's see. Daniel says, I've been trading for 2 years. This is my first time being profitable. It takes patience to learn, absolutely. It's about patience, market timing, developing your skills. There's so many factors to it. And unfortunately, there was a lot of new traders in the last year that only just followed other people's picks, and they didn't learn anything themselves. And when the bad times come, those are going to be the people who are going to be struggling the most. So the best thing you can do is just learn, so that when the bad times come, you know what to do and you're prepared for them, and you're not trying to, because here's kind of like the scenario. There's a lot of people who have just been following these Twitter account, YouTube account, you know, all the streamers and stuff for advice. But the issue is a lot of these streamers and whatever, they kind of go ghosts on the bad days, so they don't really say too much on the bad days, or they don't help you on the bad days, and they just talk about the bad days after they happen. And the issue is, if you were following all their advice but they can't give you any knowledge or anything on the bad days, then they're kind of just like, okay, I helped you out on the good days, but now on the bad day you're screwed. So it's just like, what do you do then? So what I try to do is teach you how to do it yourself. But I'm also going to be here on the bad days, but regardless of that, if I'm sleeping one morning, which I tend to do a lot of the time, people in the Discord know about it, you know what to do and you're not freaking out. Because unfortunately, like, you need to learn how to do it yourself. That's the only way you're going to be profitable over time. Following somebody, following even me is not going to work perfectly, because you have your own emotions, you have your own buying power, you have your own trades, right? So you need to learn it for yourself, and that's the main thing I want to do. More than giving people trades, I want to teach them how to find them themselves. And there's been a lot of people already learning how to do that very, very well in the Discord. Guy in Hat, Josh Trades, Christian, Scrooge, so many people. It's just awesome to see. So BRC tomorrow, bouncing off the 200 moving average, keeping an eye on the daily divergence. Need new music? I got you, Rooster. I know the playlist you like, Rooster, okay? Alright, it's weird because we don't have music on. Rooster, I know which playlist you like. I'm gonna play it just for you, okay? Alright, it's right here. You like the lo-fi jazz one, because last time I played this playlist, you were like, this music's still. But this song's not too great. Let me skip this one. What is happening? Come on. All right. Let's see. So we have BRC, ELP, N, and then we're gonna look at your stand. All right, what are these songs? I'm sorry, Rooster. No, I think that's the wrong playlist. Let's see. There it is, I found it. Yeah, this one. This one's just vibes. Late night vibes. That used to be the title of the stream. Alright, let's take a look at these charts. I know I've been a little bit bad with the charts and I'm sorry. Just been talking. It's been a good time. BRC, yeah, it's around that 200-day moving average. It is too early to call hidden bullish divergence, right? Because you need the MACD to be developing. On the 4-hour, yeah, even here you were developing it, but it never confirmed, so you can't really consider it until it starts really developing again. Yeah, and oh wow, there's a support right at the 200-day moving average. Let me delete this. So yeah, I mean, if it shows divergence and it gets to $46, then you have your 200-day moving average and a support right there. So that could be a better probability area. That's BRC, ELP. Taking a minute to load. Appreciate the 50 likes. A little bit hard to chart this one. Okay, that kind of clears it up a little bit. No divergence on the 4-hour. But yeah, hidden bullish divergence is on the daily, where you made a higher low on price from right here to right here with a lower level on your MACD islands. It's not much of a pattern. You are at a support, you are at the 200-day moving average. You could definitely bounce here, but it's not the most high probability bounce if it does bounce. Pen, absolutely insane. Wow. This is why we use Fibonacci. This is why we use it. This is how I predicted Fubo, Palantir, Neo, Snapchat, LCA, Lancadia Holdings. I forgot what that merged into. This is why we use Fibonacci. Look at this. Where did Pen pretty much top out at? The 1.618 golden ratio, the reversal area, right? That's where it was. I used this previous swing high to this previous swing low. I anchored my fib levels, and then it went up to the 1.618, and that's where it reversed. Literally that simple. Fibonacci, if you want to learn more about it, there's a free course on my channel. And yeah, now it's holding this 97.55 support. That was your high over here. If you can hold 97.55, your next resistance is 106. If you fall under 97.55, that's when I would say take caution, because then like your next major support would be like $80 just because of how crazy it ran. Vroom trade still looks good. I mean, it's up like only 2 or 3% now. It was up like 9% at one point. It was at $40 last night after hours. Right, it was all the way up here after hours. It was up almost 10% after hours yesterday. It was up 7% during the day today, and now the trade is only up 2% when the market fell. I'm gonna be honest here. The MACD is not looking as good as it once did. Vroom had a very nice start to the trade. It went up pretty much immediately, up almost 10%, but now it's not showing demand right here. You could be headed back down to the 36.70 level very easily. What you do not want on Vroom is for the MACD cross back over to red. So you're looking, really on Vroom, you're looking for a good open tomorrow, if I'm going to be honest. Otherwise, you want to take some caution there, at least for the short term. It's a swing trade. DocuSign. Yeah, keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. We still got 56 people in here. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, if you want to send a tip or if you want to buy merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat. I just kind of have like this list of plugs, I guess I need to say every so often. This one, I don't know, it's not probably a pattern at all. That's real. This is not really that real. This level, no. Actually, we could probably do like that. Okay, so it looks like this right here is your major support range between like 211 and 217. That kind of looks like your major support range. Are about to get oversold, or you just got oversold on the RSI. It's just like there's not a high probability here. You're not at a support, you don't have a pattern, you don't have divergence. It's really a coin flip currently on DocuSign. It can go either way. SNDL was up nice today. Okay, it's at the resistance actually. Yeah. So it tried to break the resistance, then it's trying to use it as support. It had a nice open today, broke over the 200-day moving average, ran all the way up to, wow, up to 69 cents. That would have been a huge day trade. Then it fell back down to try and hold the 60-cent support level, which was your resistance right over here and right over here. So you want to stay above 60 cents on sundial, and then your next major resistance would be like 74 cents. If you fall under 60 cents, that's when you take caution. But you're literally sitting right at it. Ride. What's happening? Oh, it's already on my watch list. Looks like that trade played out. Alright, so those are your levels. You want to get back above 26.89 for sure. Here's the thing on Ride. You have 4-hour classic bearish divergence, right? Again, it's just probability. Doesn't mean everything in the world. It's just technicals on the chart. But we've seen it play out time and time again. Same exact thing. S&P had the bearish divergence, right? Where it made a higher high on price with lower levels on the MACD. And that led to a huge jump today. That's just like an example from literally today. What was I just looking at? Ride, right? Fab with the $10 donation. LMPX possible Class B bullish divergence consolidating at the 236 fib, which is also support. Thanks, man. Appreciate the $10, Fab. All the support you've been showing. You're pretty much here every single night, so really thank you for that. I'll take a look at that right after Ride. Let me just finish up Ride real quick. Thank you again for the 10. So you do have some bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Just keep that in mind, and then it kind of looks like you're in like an ascending broadening wedge almost, something like this, right? It's really not perfect, but you get the point where you're going up, and then your supply line's going up and your demand line's going up, and they're broadening. Technically a macro bearish pattern. So again, technically it doesn't look great on the technicals, but if there's a fundamental use case, right, it's the EV. So we'll see how that works out. Thank you again for the 10. Let's look at LMPX for Fab. Right here. So possible Class B bullish divergence. If you get a MACD crossover on the 4-hour, yes, but remember you need that MACD to start waning. This is very weird. It was like inches away from confirming, and then just went boom. And that's probably what happens when you have a bad close on the market. And yeah, you just need what you're looking for really to really consider that divergence is you want the MACD to start waning, right? What does waning mean? That means, like, let me really zoom out. Like right over here, this was waning when it's coming back down towards green, right? Then it came back up, then it started waning, and then it went green. And that's like your confirmation signal, right? But you want that to start occurring. Major support range right here, we could just probably put a box. This is like your major support, and then this would be your resistance. So it's just kind of in this range right now, and that's really about it. If you break to the upside of this range, I mean, you could probably just use fibs, like, honestly. And then if you break under this range, you have another support at 1746, and that would be your 200-day moving average. And then another one at 1552. So those would be your supports under the range. But yeah, until then, you're just in the neutral range, right? That's just your range right now. Until you break to one side or the other, and that'll probably be telling for the future. That's LMPX. SRNE, we can take a look at that for Sandeep. Thank you again for all the donations and the merch. Enjoy it. Sorrento, we've looked at this one quite a bit. It was up a lot today. And I know you've been in the stream the past few nights. I know I've said this many times, but again, and I obviously, like, if you give me a chart I can really analyze, I promise you I'm going to try my best to do everything I can. but I'm just being straightforward. I hate saying this because I know how disappointing it can be when you're asking for a taker and then I just can't really give you an answer. That's just how it is sometimes. I don't like lying about things. I only like telling things as they are. And what this is to me is a coin flip because it was up 46% today, right? I can't really justify telling somebody to buy something that's up. I mean, I never tell anybody to buy or sell anything up, but I'm just saying like personally, because it already went up like crazy today. So what if people want to take profits tomorrow morning, right? And stuff like that. I appreciate the support, Fab. Try my best, but thank you again for the 10 and all the, you know, support in the streams. The macro pattern looks nice, right? You broke out of this long-term accumulation range, I can tell you that. And then you have a resistance at 1639. Look, so really I'm gonna try and help you everywhere I can here, but like kind of got a little bit above 1639. But if you go all the way back in time, and again, I really don't know how much this matters with how volatile this is, but what is it called? 1639 is like this resistance from 2014 and from 2015, and that's kind of where you topped out today. I don't know how much that matters, but well, I did not mean to scroll out that much. Okay. So, wow, how far did I just go back? And then another resistance at 1961. Wait, no, it's a little bit off. I'd probably say like 1889. So those are your levels. But in this range, it really is like back and forth, if I'm being honest. Yeah, thank you again for all the support. I just can't do too much with just one candle like that. Is that Wyckoff on LNP? Yeah, it definitely could be some white coffee and stuff. Remember, the whole entire idea of, you know, white coffee and everything like that is just accumulation zones and looking at every single market move as a continuation of supply and demand right at the end of the day. So you could really look at a lot of things as white coffee, but it really just comes down to if they're really doing what you want to see in a white coffee pattern. And this is not like, it's not like super like springy and you have like the up thrust and like the shortened, I forgot the exact word, the shortening of the thrust, I guess is the word. You're not getting all those levels, like the automatic rally, all those different white coffee things are not really happening. It's just kind of going back and forth in like a regular range. It's not like an actual, you know, multi-level complex range. It's just like a up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's pretty much really all that's happened. Forward. You can take a look at that. And then CBAT, yeah. So forward, wow, this is a huge pattern. Let me go on the weekly. Look at this massive falling. I'm looking at the weekly time frame right now. This pattern started almost a decade ago, okay? So this is a huge pattern and it did break out of it. And what happened? What is this song? Once it broke out of it, it went crazy, right? It broke out of this resistance, the weekly falling wedge, and it even broke the 880 resistance level and it went crazy. So last week and, well, this week it actually has been, it went down, but it had a huge week last week. 4 hour, you could definitely consider that a bull flag, 100%. No divergence though. Daily, no divergence. So at this point, do you have any close supports? You don't. Not until 951, unfortunately. So your next major support is 951. And then also, like, I guess, the supply line, but you're gonna have to really check that because mine might not be lined up perfectly. We already did look at sundial. Got here on weird timing. What do you mean by that, Cheddar Freeze? CBAT, yeah, should be on my watch list. I think it is. Right there. It's just trying to hold this demand. It's actually not bad. Never mind. You do have some daily classic bearish divergence though. It's holding this demand line, so it can easily bounce off this demand line. It's done it like 7 times now. But it looks like you now have classic bearish divergence, unfortunately, where you made a higher high from this high to this high, and then you made a lower high on the 4-hour MACD. And even kind of locally on the daily, so there might be some buyer exhaustion going on. But we'll see. I think tomorrow is a very make or break day for CBAT, where either you bounce off the demand line and cancel out the divergence, or the divergence makes you fall under the demand line. That could be bad. Then your next support is like $6. So just keep that all in mind. Wait, what did I say? Rooster's saying that's what she said, and then Cheddar Free says I got here on weird timing. What did I say? I don't know. Whatever. I probably did not mean whatever I said. Okay, I'm sorry. Corsair. You guys are real funny though. Wow, Corsair was a lot of things were having insane opens today, even though the market opened terribly. A lot of things were having very, very big. Oh, so funny. Wow, you guys are all clowns. But yeah, a lot of things were having big opens today, and then they just pulled back in the afternoon fall, right? I can't stop smiling, man. You guys got me today, okay? I slipped up. Okay, let's just finish. I don't want to make this a big deal, because if I'm making it a deal, then it's going to become a big deal. But let me show you that there's like an actual thing for what I was talking about. Okay. Okay. How do I bring this over? Literally, I'm only going to cover this for 30 seconds because otherwise it's going to become a huge deal, because that's just how it goes. Okay. Springs and up thrusts. Oh, yeah, I said it again. Wow, it's a part of technical analysis, okay? Yeah, I got the giggles now. Where did it just say it? So there's two things in Wyckoff. There's a spring, which is like your support that you bounce off very, very quickly. And then there's a thing called an up thrust, in which you break over resistance, but then you fall right back down. Okay. So you can think of like an up thrust as like a, like you have to take profits very, very quickly. And then you can think of a spring as like a stop punt that it bounces off of. Yeah, I know I said it again. Ha ha ha. And they have like different types. Okay. Up thrusts are essentially mirror images of springs. You get the point. It's a real thing. You're seeing it, okay? It's a real thing in technicals. There you go. This is your example, okay? Right there. Alright? The word. It's the word, okay? Alright, y'all got me. Have fun. Good job. But besides the point, let's see what else is in the chat. Daniel, I'll take a look at your ticker for sure. What'd you say? ACMR. Sitting at the bottom of a range, classic divergence on the 4-hour, classic on the daily. Okay, people are learning their classes of divergence. I like to see that. What was it? ACMR. Okay, this one right here. Might be a harmonic as well. Okay, we can talk about that. Let's see. Scroll down. Ryan says your subscribers are about to blow up. Just so you know, if you're from the future and you're letting me know that, I really appreciate that. So I hope so. That's the goal. Hey, if I buy AMC overnight, how much will I pay when it opens tomorrow? You tell me. I don't know. Alright, so ACMR. I feel like you can't really, maybe like a, I don't know about a harmonic because it just made a wave up. So not like a bullish harmonic, right? It's the right one. AMCR, okay, good. AMCR. Amcor. Okay. So let me just chart it how I would normally chart it, and then I can look into everything you were talking about. Yeah, so this divergence you're talking about is like the same level of negative momentum, but at a lower low. So yes, you can make that argument for sure. It is like weaker than Class A divergence, but like you can make the argument. It's not perfect, but it's technically there, kind of. And then on the 4-hour, not really much divergence at all because you're already waiting on the green, so wouldn't really consider that. In terms of like a harmonic, X, A, B, C, D. No, that wouldn't be deep enough. That doesn't make sense. I feel like you would have to do it right there. Then you go like this, that, this. That would give you, that would be close. That would give you a 0.618. What'd you go for the 1272? but the 618 should be the Gartley. 1272. But you want like a 786 on the bottom. You'd be stretching it a little bit. X to B is good, B to D is good. But instead of a 0.68 right here, what you want on the Gartley is you want a 786. So the X to D is not wide enough. Other than that, everything's there. So it could be like maybe like an unconventional one. Let's see. That's like the only one, because the Gartley's like the only one where you don't make like a deeper retrace on D. It's like where you come like, you know, like halfway there. So yeah, it's like a little bit unconventional, but I guess it's there. Kind of. It's not textbook. I don't think so, at least. But I feel like it just looks more like a not really a falling wedge, maybe a falling wedge, something like that. More just like a channel, right? Like a downsloping channel. Just kind of looks like a parallel channel that's downsloping. So that's kind of how I look at it. Does all this TA matter if the market dumps tomorrow? Well, technically, maybe not, but okay. The TA mattered on Fisker today and the market dumped. The TA mattered on Clover today. I made 3 different calls on Clover today with technical analysis and they all played out, right? I called the second target going to the exact daily high. I called the daily high before it even ever happened, okay? Then I showed the resistance there, it pulled back, then I said it's bullish at flipping the previous resistance into a support, and then it went up very, very nicely after hours. So the TA did matter there. And I'm not getting mad at you for what you're saying. I'm kind of presenting an argument to that. Okay. The TA has been mattering on Big Commerce, which I said was my #1 stock pick. Okay. Just so everybody knows, I said Big Commerce is my #1 stock pick right here, right over here. Okay. Christian, I know if you're still in the stream, you were here the night I said that. If anybody else was here, I said Big Commerce is my #1 stock pick. Right over here, and people were worried about this. Okay, people were worried about this little thing, and then look what happened. Okay, this is why you need to be able to see the bigger picture. Okay, so yeah, always have patience. The TA has been mattering on Rocket. That hit the target today, and the market dumped today. Had a great open. You get the point that I'm trying to make. The TA does matter, but obviously, when the market conditions are panic selling, it matters less. 100% I would agree with you there. Absolutely. And there are, at the same time, things that look bullish, right? Things that look good to me, but that will just fall because the market is falling. Absolutely, that happens, right? So there can be an argument made to both sides. Absolutely. I'll be completely straightforward right there. But as I always say, the technicals are made for stable, normal market conditions. I always say that. That's what I was taught. Patience is a gift, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Big Commerce, a lot of the times you just have to believe, right? You had to believe right here to make an insane amount of money very, very quickly. You had to believe right here to make an insane amount of money very, very quickly. You had to believe they always say like, overnight successes take a decade of hard work, right? Think about that in trading. You can get these huge 1 candle green days, right? These awesome days, right? Let me show you, right? Fisker, it took a month of believing to get that green day, that huge green day. Clover, it took a week of believing to get that huge green day. What was the other one? Big Commerce, it took a week of believing to get multiple huge green days. Rocket, it took 3 weeks of believing to get that huge green day, which was my best day ever. So a lot of the times in trading, you have to wait multiple weeks for that one day, and when that one day does come, it's worth the wait, right? I tripled my account on Monday because of this one candle, but I had to wait 3 weeks for it. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was actually considering selling out of my calls on Rocket last Friday. I would be really, really upset if I did that. Thankfully, I did not. Okay. But yeah, and then Monday, boom, there you go. So it always takes believing. One of the biggest plays where it took believing was right here. Right there, okay? It took an insane amount of believing down here for my OG SPAC members. You know how much believing it took down here? Okay? It took a lot of believing, right? This thing had been dropping every single day for 2 weeks straight, like 10% a day, drop. And then finally, some random 18-year-old college student says, hey, I think the stock price is gonna double. Yeah. This random person with 500 followers on Twitter comes out and says, yeah, this thing that's been dropping every single day, I think it's gonna double very, very quickly. And then it like more than doubles, right? It takes a lot of believing. You always have to trust the process, but at the same time, you have to be able to know when to admit that you're wrong and cut your losses. So it's this fine line, right? And I like talking about trading psychology a lot. William says, you saved me 1K on that damn butterfly. I've heard that a lot, and I'm not trying to have an ego. I know somebody who was saved hundreds of thousands of dollars because of the butterfly. That's why it's insane, because collectively, I don't want to know how much money I save people because I can't really fathom that. But there was I think at one point, when I put this out, right, I was looking at the Webull number, 99% of the shareholders were at a loss. 99%. You can go back and find the screenshot somewhere on Twitter. Only 1% of people were in profit because they were day trading it at the bottom, right? So literally everybody was at a loss. So imagine how many people made money after that, right? It wasn't, I was down a lot back then. Not like an insane amount. I wasn't holding on this whole entire dump. I was getting in and then stopping out, then getting back in and then stopping out. That was what I was kind of doing. But yeah, just some psychological talk. So TA in a bad and red market is more for saving you. And in a normal good market is good. TA is always good, but the probability varies, right? In a normal day in the market, TA works fine. It works to its normal probability. In a bad day in the market, the probability just lowers. In a good day in the market, the probability is raised of it playing out, right? So it just depends. It's all about probability. That's all it is. It's never certainty. But yeah. Did we look at everything else? What's it called? And I'm not saying you have to believe in TA. I'm just saying you have to believe in the process. I never said that about TA. You have to believe in the process until it doesn't make sense to believe in it. Okay, quote me on that. All right, that's the only thing I want you to quote me on. Believe in the process until it doesn't make sense to. Yeah, you could have just waited for the timestamps for the SNDL chart, but that works too. TA is just probability and risk management. It's not predictions. It's not using a magic 8-ball. It's not all those things that people talk about. It's just numbers. It's just patterns. It's just data. That's really all it is. Algorithms, or whatever you want to call it. Not technically algorithms, but you get the point. Snow. Bitcoin is up a couple percent in the last few hours, and futures are back down again, I think. Yeah, futures are falling a little bit again. Not that much, but they're still down a little bit after close, barely. What was I looking at? Snow. That was not an official trade, thankfully. I think Snow did look good. I think there was a harmonic or something, but it looks like it wanted to hold this 275 support and it couldn't. It broke under that. So that was a major support, right? It was your resistance right here and your support right there, and you broke under it today. So the bad day in the market could have messed up the technicals here. You're really not that much under it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too sure here. I think it did look good, but the bad day in the market messed up the technicals on this one, right? The technicals took some damage. Yeah, it kind of does look like a harmonic to me. Can't do it like that though. But that's a 0.618, yeah. Wow. That would be too deep, but if you put the 786, yeah, that would be your Gartley, no? Am I tripping right now? Right there? Oh my gosh, you have the 1618, the 1618, the 786. Let me check this. I might be off. Again, I'm not the master at harmonics. I need to use the cheat sheet to verify it. So I guess that's something. 618, 618. Yeah, that's the Gartley. That's the bullish Gartley. But technically, it's falling under the PCZ a little bit. This is a bullish Gartley harmonic pattern. I just checked the cheat sheet. But your PCZ was truly pretty much right here at this support. You are a little bit under it. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You need to get a little bit higher and you could be back at that PCZ. Again, this is like, it's just like a zone. It's a pattern completion zone, right? There's a zone, right? Where you just, in that general area is where you're looking for a bounce. So it wouldn't be too hard to manage your risk right here. You could just do something like this, right? Like that. Again, on how you would target this harmonic, you go for point C, which would be a 34% gain, and then you could just probably something like this, right? Because you have a little support right there, right? This previous resistance could be a support. It's this little resistance area right here, and then you put your stop right under that. You would get 5 reward choice. You could even lower your stop loss if you wanted to, and that could be a potential trade on snow. And I think Mitch Ray was also talking about something like this. But yeah, there is a potential trade on snow for sure. But one thing I would say at the same time is you want the MACD if that MACD was still developing, I would have put out a trade right now on snow. The only thing is I want the MACD to start developing again. Yeah, TA is at a very core value. TA shows the levels of supply and demand, the supports and the resistances, the patterns, right? TA, the best way that I can say that I also said in my course, the best way to phrase it in my opinion is technical analysis is just a visual representation of market psychology. That's all it is. It's a visual representation. Take that as you want to. Yeah, but snow is trading at a high, rate, right? Like, I think this was one of the biggest IPOs ever, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, their margins are, I guess, over their stock price, technically. They're on that list. I forgot who sent that list to the Discord. But yeah. Oh, since the new Trading for a Living audiobook tonight is in the Discord, great lessons on trading, psychology, and risk management. Yeah, absolutely. If you go to freetradingmovement.com, there's a lot of resources. One great book is Trading in the Zone, right? Let me flip on over to here. Looks like we're starting to lag a little bit, but just go to education. You can see my full free course. Let me look that up. You can see my full free course, and then books. Books to read: Trading in the Zone, The Disciplined Trader, Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns, Japanese Candlesticks, The Intelligent Investor. Books right over there, and then Market Wizards. So yeah, if you want some book links, I'll take you right to where you can buy them. Those are not affiliate links; those are just like recommendations. Then other YouTube and Twitter accounts to follow, of course. Number 1, Mitch Ray, and then yeah, that's join the Discord, whatever it is. All the resources you need are on freetradingmovement.com. Every single thing I talk about, you can find right here. So check out the website, join the Discord, have a great night. I think we're gonna call right there. It was a great stream. Thank you for all the donations, all the merchandise purchases. Hopefully the market does better tomorrow, but the trades have been crushing it regardless. Just manage your risk and be prepared for anything. Thank you for all the support tonight and every single night. Peace out.